Welcome, everybody out there in the internet land, to episode 70 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. As always, I am Big Pop's Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And hi, sweet friends. My name is Hannah Jo, aka Sis. And together we are did I do it backwards again? I'm Sis. No. Okay. And together.
I don't know.
Together we are me either. Together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
That's right, guys. We are friendly and we're family. We literally are family.
Yeah, because I'm your daughter. And
I know.
You are my dad. Happy late Father's Day.
I know. And I remember my first ever Father's Day gift. And I was holding you. You were like about 2 or 3 months old.
And my head was like,
and your head was like, I was like, is that going to, maybe that's what's wrong with Hannah today. And I was sitting.
That's why I'm unwell, is because Dad, he's holding me in one arm.
Yeah.
And my
sitting
head
on
is
that
like, man.
riding a lawnmower. But that was fun. Yeah.
It's like
thank you.
Pushed to the side. Hysterical.
Hilarious. Well, Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Yeah, sweet friends. Hey, thanks for coming to hang out with us. CJ, we see you. Thanks for being here, friend. We are going to do a couple different things today. Typically, our route is we talk.
Route.
Our route? It's a route.
That is fine.
A routine, if you will.
Routine. I thought it meant like the route in which we go.
Like something being wrote.
It is route and route.
Yeah.
So we're a route. So
we're going to talk nerd news. We always talk about what we've been binging, what we've been watching. We are going to talk about a movie, Zoolander. We are going to
what is this? A podcast for ants?
What is this? A podcast for ants? We're going to talk about Zoolander, where Pops is going to share his pull list. We might talk about the comic book kaiju score. We might not. We're going to see where the road takes us today.
What the route is.
Yes.
Hilarious. Well, Hannah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something and I totally forgot.
Oh, no.
It's all right. It'll come to me. Okay. Let's just dive into the part of this that makes us a timely podcast, the nerd news time. Take it away, Hannah, from Gallatin, Tennessee.
Woo! So Fast and the Furious.
Didn't go see it.
We know is nearing its end. Wah, wah. Sad trombone. The series end, I think, is the next movie.
Yeah, there'll be the sequel beginning.
Okay. Let me finish my thing.
Go ahead.
Vin Diesel is already being interviewed about the spinoffs that he has in the works.
Oh God!
And I love
Hobbs and Shaw.
I love the Fast and the Furious movies. I love them. That's one of the things that I watched. I watched it at the drive-in, and we talked about how last time on the podcast,
that's a drive-in movie.
That's a drive-in movie. And let me
tell you,
Green
Lantern is not one.
What?
Green Lantern
is not one. Too much bad special effects. But Fast and the Furious is an excellent drive-in movie.
Okay.
In fact, I saw the original Fast and the Furious at the drive-in. They showed it, and they had like fancy. It was like a special event at the drive-in like a couple years ago, and they encouraged people to like bring their vintage cars, and so they had all of these like fancy cars.
Branded a fool.
But spinoffs are in the works, but no news yet about Fast
cars.
Yeah, they had like people bring
a great idea, like a car
show at the drive-in, and played Fast and Furious, and it was like $2 a ticket.
Oh,
like it was like
didn't even have to hide someone in the trunk of the car.
No, just straight up didn't.
You could even buy their food and not sneak in pizza or chicken.
When Trevin and I go to the drive-in here, so if you live around Bowling Green and want to go to the drive-in, the Franklin Drive-In is closed, but they have a drive-in in Macon County in Tennessee and at Lafayette. And their food is chef's kiss. We both got tickets to go see the movie. We got 3 chicken strips, a corn dog, French fries, tater tots, 2 hot dogs,
Holy cow, you moo
a
cows.
Mountain Dew, and a water,
Top it off with a water.
and paid $30.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
It was
know.
awesome.
Wow. Coolio.
The Macon
I mean,
Drive-In in Lafayette.
I mean, and if you want to come to Mount Sterling, Kentucky and visit
Judy
Todd Turner,
Drive-In.
Judy Drive-In's open. We got spare rooms. We're renting out the kids' rooms. So
Spare
come on.
You can stay in my child.
The wardrobe. That's right. I'll even change the sheets. Yeah. That's hilarious. So the Flash movie,
Okay, I've heard it's like not bad.
it made less money than the Black Adam movie made.
Oh no.
Yeah, that ain't good. That's like abysmal. So it's the. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's had a why, Hannah? What do you think?
I think there's a lot of reasons. I didn't even know it came out.
Oh, God, really? They've
Oops.
been advertising the.
I didn't know it came out. I had no idea.
The
I had no
Batman
idea that it
movie
came out.
coming out that has the Flash and Supergirl in it.
I didn't know that it came out. The main character did some bad things.
Questionable activities.
Yeah. And it's not always fun to go watch movies like that. I think it might have something to do with that. I'm not 100% sure. No one like vibes with the Flash.
Yeah, I don't know. I think. Listen,
Why
that
go see that
Flashpoint-
when you could go see why go see that when you could go see Guardians 3 or Fast X?
I got you. Probably
Like, you know
so.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
I
I'm
got
going to
you,
go
yeah.
watch
And we all know that nothing matters because James Gunn is going to wipe the slate clean and start anew, right?
Yeah.
So, well, hey, I wanted to talk about something since for those of you who are listening on a podcast, we do a live recording on my personal Facebook page. You're more than welcome to come in and join us. So we do have some people in the chat. Well, my sister just hopped on. And
Hi, Aunt Tammy.
I wanted to talk about Aunt Tammy for just a second.
Oh no.
So Aunt Tammy, my sister, loves the daggone cereal that only comes out at Halloween time.
Yeah, Blueberry.
Thank you very much. So yeah, so we all know that General Mills has what? Blueberry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this year, and this made me think of Aunt Tammy, they are putting out Carmela Creeper, the first in 35 years, the first new monster, and it's a female. She is a DJ zombie, and she is the long lost cousin of Frankenberry. So they are going to put out a Carmela Creeper cereal to go along with Blueberry, Frankenberry, and Count Chocula. So it is caramel apple flavored. So I'm guessing something like
Apple Jacks.
Apple Jacks. That's what I'm thinking. Something like that. But it'll be the the little things with the marshmallows and everything. And I just thought oh gosh.
That is so funny.
Yeah. So they are General Mills. My sister says, put me down for some boxes because she loves the Blueberry. We'll have to give it a try, right?
I like Apple Jacks.
Like, what's the deal with everybody making these like cereals? Like
Well,
our friend CJ said he finally found a box of that Miraculous or whatever. Remember we talked about
the cereal. Yeah, the French.
the French. No, I just did it. That's all. Les poissons. How I love les poissons.
There was this recording that I listened to, and it was a guy talking about how he doesn't know if you should say le croissant or la croissant whenever you order one, and that he found a way to get around it instead of. And he goes, I would like 2 croissants.
Take 2.
I would like
'cause they're
the
delicious.
instead of having to remember if it's
hilarious.
le or la. He goes the. I would like 2 croissants.
Or you can say it like us hillbillies. I'll take 2 of them crescent rolls.
Do you have any croissant?
Croissant. What else you got, Hannah? I've got a lot of fun news.
Emily Blunt is still talking about doing an Edge of Tomorrow sequel.
I saw that too. I'm for it.
I'm for it. Live, die, repeat.
Yeah, the worst movie name in the world. We should do that too. We should make the top 10 movies that we think are great that everybody thinks is terrible.
Edge of Tomorrow would be one of.
And do you know what? John Carter Mars?
John Carter was, it was good.
I liked it.
You read all the
Everybody's like,
books.
I know.
You downloaded all of the books and read them all.
I know because I was excited for the movie and I read the books. Thank you, Edgar Rice Burroughs, who also did Tarzan. He was the creator of Tarzan.
I liked that. Oh,
What?
never mind. I liked The Legend of Tarzan. I thought we were talking about remakes, live action remakes of movies.
Hey, go for it. Anything goes here. We know that the HBO, Apple Plus,
Executives
Hulu,
are
Disney Plus are
listening.
listening to every word. They are like with bated breath, waiting to see what we're going to say. And
Well,
they're going to change their
Tom
stuff
Cruise
likewise.
needs to get on
Tom
board.
Cruise is, well, he's not on board.
I don't know. I think
He's really
maybe
hard pushing Mission Impossible.
He's pushing Mission Impossible right now. And apparently he, during opening weekend, when you go see a movie, typically they have a cast recording like welcoming you to the movie before the movie starts.
He did the thing with
He did the thing that Trevin and I loved when we went and saw
at the beginning of Maverick.
Top Gun Maverick. And apparently he
Yes.
did something similar for this movie. Like thanking people to go, like going to see movies in the cinema, and we're thankful for you. We do this for you, type thing.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Toy Story 5 is like actually happening.
I saw that.
Like,
We
don't.
need it.
No, they're
The 3 was the perfect ending.
3 was the perfect ending.
However, Sporky's hilarious.
Sporky is hysterical. Oh, kids love Sporky.
I know. And when you know your mom doing play therapy, if people
I'm
don't know, my wife
trash.
is a play therapist. Like every little kid wanted to make,
A
if they could make
Sporky.
something, they wanted to make a Sporky. So I get that. But
Let it go, my guys. Let it go. Come up with something.
Yeah.
Come up with a new idea.
Yeah. Well, they come up with Elemental. Has it come out yet?
I think so.
I don't even know.
I
know
don't.
if
I
it's
don't either.
Been released
Are we?
yet?
Is it?
Are we
Is
getting
it because
too old?
we're old? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm sitting here wondering. Is it because we're old or because they're bad?
Or because we don't have children that are like little kids that are dying to go see
Well,
cartoon movies?
Our family life cycle is a changing.
Family
so,
life cycle is a changing.
So give us 5 years and we might be 5-10 years and we'll be going to see different movies again.
All right. But
Podcast
until
episode
then-
125, reviewing Toy Story 11.
You heard it here now. You heard it here now. Oh gosh, that's great.
Gracious.
Have you seen do you know who Craven the Hunter is?
Yeah, yes, but no. The name is familiar to me.
Okay. So Craven the Hunter is
I'm gonna Google his face.
an old Spider-Man villain. And that's what he does. He's a hunter. He has like a tiger's mane or a lion's mane around his thing. And he always open bare chested or whatever. So Sony Pictures, because they own the Spider-Verse. So the only movies they can make are characters basically that were within the Spider universe, right? They did that Morbius that did terrible. I thought it was all right. It wasn't
Is it
great.
Tom Holland?
No. It is Aaron Taylor Johnson, the guy from Kick Bleep and Quicksilver.
Well, who is this? Who's the Spider-Man?
There's not Spider-Man's not in it. Spider-Man's not in
The
Kraven
first look
Hunter.
trailer is he's holding Spider-Man. It's Nick.
No, he's not. Not in the trailer.
That's what I saw.
It does not have there are spiders coming down from the canopy of a forest. But I saw there was a they have a Red Band trailer out, so it's going to be rated R, and it looks brutal.
Well, here's the thing. They're
People are already poo-pooing on it, and it doesn't look that bad to me.
well, we really liked the Venom movies.
I didn't.
They weren't bad. Well, we went and we had an all-day movie day and we watched Venom and Eternals.
Well, when you get to choose those two, I probably
And
would
Venom
pick
was better.
Yeah, well, that's not saying much. Eternals was
Eternals was so
it was long, very long. I
Oh,
don't know.
well, hey, speaking of what we were just talking about, CJ said has little children have not been interested in many of the recent Pixar movies. So perhaps
No, but those kids, in order for them to eat their dinner, he says you can't watch another episode of
Bluey?
the X-Men the cartoon X-Men cartoon unless you eat your
till
dinner.
you go down and eat your dinner.
I love it.
Eat your beans.
I told on him. Hope CJ is okay with that. Too late. We can edit it out. So, hey, here's some Fantastic Four information. Have you heard this?
Mm-mm.
So, they have the costume designer for the Fantastic Four is a lady named Melissa Vargas. So, why
Okay.
is that important? You may
I don't know.
ask. She is known for doing 2 movies, Bleed for This and Wu-Tang, an American Saga. The thing about both of those is that they are basically considered period pieces. Wu-Tang Saga.
Is this going to be like is this going to be like a 40s, like a 40s, 50s, like when they first started?
I don't know, but I hope so.
That would be
hope.
cool. You have talked about that for so long.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Right now, what's happened in with the Fantastic Four, because I'm a Fantastic Four fan. So they rebooted the Fantastic Four comic book, and something was going really terrible. And in order to save everyone and get rid of the bad guys, Reed Richards had to put like a time-space bubble around an entire block of New York and make it disappear for an entire year. So everyone in that, like his children, anybody who was there working or whatever, so it just literally blipped out of existence. However, in a year, it will return to the exact same spot. No time will have passed for the people in the blip, but everybody outside of it will have already passed. So I'm hoping that this is a period piece set in the 60s, and that's why the Fantastic Four hasn't been here. Like this all happens, they disappear, they reappear now, with no time passing for them, but all the time passing for the Marvel Universe.
That would be sick.
What do you think about that?
I think it would be really cool. I think it's too cool. They couldn't have thought of it. They're going to do something lamer than that, probably.
Oh, I hope not. Because what are you going to do? You're going to say,
Fantastic
honestly,
Four movies have just been really bad.
Here's the deal. What you can't the Fantastic Four's been here forever and have done absolutely nothing
Reed
with
Richards
everything going
would
on.
never.
Right. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. Either that or it'll have to be a complete origin story.
Yeah.
But I saw that.
Well, it said that it wasn't going to be an origin story.
Then I'm thinking.
Well, do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I saw that it wasn't going to be an origin story. And then I saw a meme later. I showed Trevin. We had a laugh about it. And it was me taking my wife to go see Fantastic Four and it not being an origin story. And then her being like, why is Jim from The Office up there on the TV? Who's he?
He's not going to be. We already know that. That's terrible. Oh, I don't want to talk about Jim as Fantastic Four. Oh, speaking of cameos in movies, can I spoil something from The Flash?
Yeah, go for it. I'm not going to watch it.
Okay,
Don't spoil Spider-Man. Have you watched Spider-Man?
No, Into the Spider-Verse. No, we're terrible geeks. We haven't watched any geeky movies.
We're getting Regal for July.
All right. I think we're gonna go to tomorrow. We're gonna have a day date, but I think we're gonna go see the Henry Clay House.
Oh, that'll be fun. I've never been to the Henry Clay House.
Ditto. Me either.
Is it not rainy up there?
Well, it might be rainy, which is why we're going for an inside thing.
Love it.
So we don't know.
Oh, day date. That's cute.
I know. So this is, I'm going to tie this all in.
Lay it on me. I want a Flash spoiler.
Okay. So World's Finest is a comic book. This comic book had been out forever.
You've told me about it before.
And it's basically Batman, Superman comic book, them together. So on the cover of World Finest 19, hasn't come out yet, is Nicolas Cage as Superman on the cover of issue 19. So did you know Nick Cage wanted to be Superman?
No.
There are pictures out there on the internet of Nicolas Cage in a Superman outfit. So Kevin Smith, who Mallrats.
Was Nick Cage was Nick Cage as Superman in this movie? Dad.
I'm shaking my head, yes.
I have to go see this now.
So look,
because Nick Cage is Superman.
It gets even better. Okay. So back when this all happened, Kevin Smith wanted to do a Superman movie. And the one of the directors with Tim Burton on Batman. So Batman 1989 came out, was a hit. Tim Burton and a guy named John Peters were the co-producers, co-directors, or whatever. And so Kevin Smith wanted to make this Superman movie with Nick Cage. And this other Peters guy was attached to it. And he said, great, let's do it. I want to do, however, we have to have 3 caveats. What is that? Number 1, he can't wear the suit. What? Number
What's
2,
the point?
Number 2, he can't fly. And number 3, he has to battle a giant spider.
What in the world?
I know. So at the end of the Flash movie, when the Flash is running super fast to go back through time,
Does he see him
get to
battling
see-
a spider?
there is Nick Cage as Superman battling a giant spider.
Is he in the suit?
I don't know. I don't know. But
I'm gonna try.
anyway.
I bet I can find a picture. Give me a second.
Don't go Google. Yeah. So there you go. Cameo. Nick Cage as Superman / Clark Kent in the Flash movie. So that's just a big slam. That is like a real, I mean, that's a deep cut right there. You know, that they got that spider.
That's hysterical.
The Superman. So yeah, but there was a picture of the cover of World's Finest 19.
That is iconic.
Iconic.
Well, do you remember when we watched Willy's Wonderland?
Fantastic. I loved it.
Also iconic. That should be on our list of movies that everyone should watch.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, it's either Paramount or Peacock. They have a Nick Cage channel.
They have a Nick Cage channel?
One of those have all the Nick Cage movies.
Okay, Nick Cage also, and again, Willy's Wonderland is for grown-ups. And there is also a documentary called The History of Swear Words that Nick Cage is the host of. And that is also for grown-ups, but it is hysterical.
He just had a movie come out called Renfield where he's a vampire.
Yeah.
And he's Dracula. Renfield is his person that's supposed to go get things for him. I don't know what they're called. A familiar? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to watch it.
We need to watch The Unbearable Weight of
Adults.
Massive Talent.
I know.
And
I can't find it
talk about
anywhere. Can't
We're
find
going
it
to have to rent
anywhere.
it.
Probably, or buy it.
But I mean, you should buy it because that movie is hysterical.
That's hilarious. Well, what else you got, Hannah?
Okay. Linda Hamilton is going to be on Stranger Things 5.
Yes. You know who she is?
She's Terminator.
She is from the Terminator, right? She was married to James Cameron for a while. Yeah, so what do you think about that? She's like a beast woman.
She's like a big, big star. Like, what is she going to do?
I don't know.
Where is she going to pop out of?
I don't think she's just as large as, she's a movie star that hasn't been in a whole lot of movies lately.
Yeah.
She was big
kind of
for a while.
Same as Winona Ryder.
Exactly. Or Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah.
Those were pretty big.
Bob Newby.
Bob Newby. Everybody misses Bob.
Bob Newby, superhero.
Very good comic book. The Secrets of Wimb or whatever. Whatever. Yeah, that was fun. I did see that. Does it say what she's going to be?
No.
Just going to be in it.
I just need you to know that.
Awesome. Good deal.
That's it. That's all I got.
Well, Sam Rockwell, Justin Hammer. Remember him?
Yeah.
From the
He's
Iron
also
Man
in one
movies?
of a movie I loved, Mr. Right.
Okay, and he was also in a movie called, I think it's just called Moon. Amazing. And it's just him. So good.
He plays in Mr. Right, he plays a hitman for hire.
Nice. Well, he is going to be back in the Marvel Universe.
He's a bad guy.
I know, but he's a great bad guy.
He's a very funny bad guy.
He's going to be in Armor Wars, the TV show. I think it's a show, a Disney show.
Cool.
So, do you remember when at the end of one of the movies?
This is not my bird.
This is not, no, I know. That's a great one. I'm talking about the end scene when the Mandarin's character, Ben Kingsley, is trying to say, Trevor, and he's doing all that. And then you look and there's Justin Hammer sitting in the place. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I think I had a couple more. One of my childhood artists, comic book artists, passed away.
Oh, Dad, I'm sorry.
John Romita Sr. His son is drawing Spider-Man right now, John Romita Jr. But John Romita Sr. passed away. He was old. He was up there. So yeah,
Still,
that's sort of
feels like a loss of childhood in some way.
All these classic. Did you know they're making Disney is putting out a Stan Lee documentary?
Yeah, and one of the guys mad about it, Kirby.
Jack Kirby's son. Yeah, I haven't seen that.
They put a statement out about it. I didn't read about it just because.
I know. I didn't. I saw where something was said, but
Drama.
There's a great book out about Jack Kirby. It's like a graphic novel, and they're the same guy that created that a couple years ago is putting out one on Stan Lee, and I think it'd be worth reading them side by side. So I saw that. Anyway, here's another thing I want to tell you.
Yes.
And I might go tomorrow and get this.
Okay.
Exploding Kittens, the creators of Exploding Kittens, which we love,
We do.
and Spot It, which we love, have combined and have created a brand new card game called Anarchy Pancakes. It's like, it looks so fun. It's like got like you have these pancakes and you have these toppings and you have to take all these nasty toppings off and everything.
Gross.
And so yeah, it looks like it. But here's the deal. Right now you can only get it from the company's website or Target.
I was going to say Barnes and
January
Noble.
1st. No, Target. That is it. So I
Can you go
checked.
Target?
Lexington Target has it in stock.
Sick.
So
You can order for pickup. That way it'll
I
for
know.
sure be safe for you.
that's what I was thinking about doing. So if we go tomorrow, that's what I'll do. Yeah. So-
There's a game that I saw today that I might want to get, and it is stacking books to make you get books of like different sizes and shapes, and you pull a card and it tells you the different number of books to get, and you have to stack the books so a little kitten can fit inside, and then put another bookshelf on top of it, and then put a vase on top of it, and the vase is a level, and if it's not in the middle of the level, then you
that
lose.
sounds fun. That sounds good. Like, that sounds fun.
It does sound fun. I might get it.
Well, yeah. Bring it. 4th of July. We'll play it.
Yeah.
If you do get it. One more piece of
we'll
news.
bring Hues and Clues and Chameleon. I think our
Okay.
family would love Chameleon.
All right. And then I've got Azul. Everybody knows how to play it, but you guys, you
I
weren't
don't.
there. It's easy.
Okay.
It's hard. It's easy to pick up on. Zoe 102.
Oh no.
Yes. Zoe 102. It's a movie coming out. Apparently she's getting married.
Just your average kind of
Is it-
girl.
Wasn't this the one we wouldn't let you guys watch because she
No,
got,
you let me watch it until she got
she-
pregnant, and then you're like, you're not watching that anymore.
I know. That's what I thought. Oh gosh. That's terrible.
Yeah, her little brother Dustin was so weird, and that guy with the curly hair was obsessed with her. Well, here's
They're
the
all
thing.
in it.
They're bringing these TV shows back because millennials want them.
Yep.
So
Well,
there's
Zoe-
a Ned's Declassified Life Survival Guide that's a podcast, and it's
Oh, that
the
would-
cast.
For serious?
Yeah,
I
it's
would
the
probably listen
cast-
to that.
You should. It's hysterical. It's the cast of Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, and they just interviewed Coconut Head.
Oh.
They brought Coconut Head in for an interview.
Coconut Head.
Yeah, to be a part of it.
Oh gosh.
And literally, his name when he first got cast was Kid with Bad Haircut.
That's
They
what they
didn't
called
even
him?
know. They didn't even know what his haircut was going to be.
That's so bad.
They
Kid
just
with bad
named him
haircut.
But
Coconut
Coconut
Head.
Head.
It works because it's what he looks like.
But yeah, and iCarly is back.
I did see that. Yes.
And Hilary Duff is on How I Met Your Father instead of How I
Well,
Met Your Mother.
Hilary Duff has been on TV for a while. I mean, she just keeps going. Bless her heart.
Well, we like Hilary Duff.
Yeah, I'm not against her. Not
Childhood,
against her.
Dad. Childhood.
I got it. I don't want to poo-poo on your childhood.
Yeah, don't.
I won't. All right. What's next, Hannah?
What we're watching?
All right. Yeah. So your mom and I finished every bit of Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. What'd she think?
Yeah, yes and no. Because, she's not a big rated R kind of girl.
And they cuss.
And they do say some bad words, and there are some adult situations in it.
Mhm.
So yeah, mixed feelings. liked it. Really did like the honesty and the of Ted and his genuine care for people.
Yeah,
And
he's just a good guy.
Then there were some parts of it that she wasn't the best, the favorite
Fair.
or whatever. Yeah.
Big fair.
Star Trek Strange New World, Strange New Worlds has started the second season, and I watched the first episode.
Is it good?
And by the way, if anybody, this is on Paramount. However, if you want to watch season 1, it's for free on YouTube. So
Cool.
Is it good? They basically, what happens is Pike has to leaves. They're in space dock getting refitted. And Spock is left in charge, and then he has to steal the Enterprise out of space dock, which is hilarious because they have Carol Kane, who is you would know her as the babysitter on the Pacifier. You remember the movie Pacifier?
Yes, the nanny with the short black hair.
No, she didn't have black hair. I don't think. I don't know, but anyway, she has a new role in this episode.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Is that what she's
the landlady on Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and she's in Princess Bride.
Yeah, have fun storming the castle. Think it'll work.
No.
It'll take a miracle.
It'll take a miracle.
Yeah, exactly. Isn't that her? Did it say she's in Star Trek Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, there's a picture of her, and it's just on joining Star Trek.
It's
and
hilarious
her outfit is so fun.
So what they do is they stage a warp core breach, and they have to. So that's how they get everybody off of the ship. And she's just back up there. She comes up on the bridge while the bridge crew is ready to take off, and they're like, "Did you not see that there's a warp core breach?" And she's like, "Oh, you mean the warp core that 14 of my colleagues and I just spent 3 hours going over and couldn't find anything wrong." Yeah, I saw that. She goes, I did do a class at the academy on how to simulate warp core breaches. And they're like, and Spock was like, I did not know that. She goes, if you really want them to make them, you should vent some plasma from the nacelles. And then, so it is sort of like, you remember you sent me that thing on Instagram?
Yes, I was going to bring that up. There's this girl on Instagram. Yeah. There's this girl on Instagram. I sent Dad one of her videos, and it's a wrap of being an engineer in Star Trek, and it's hysterical. It's so funny. What's her name? It's Star Trek Technobabble, if you want to search it.
And I understood. The bad part was I understood everything she said. Everything
that she said is something that has been said.
It was so good.
REINADELCID. And she also has Star Trek beverages, Death Star janitor. She's got like all sorts of like geeky stuff.
It was good. It was great. So anyway, they steal the Enterprise, and he says they're waiting for him, and the Helms, she turns around and says, "Are you going to say it?" He goes, "Say what?" "Your thing." He goes, "I don't know what you mean." Like Pike has hit it. You know how everybody has engage, make it so.
And make it so.
Or warp factor 1.
Engage.
They go, what you got to have your thing. And he goes, "I want the ship to go now."
What a Spock thing to say.
So good. But the look on his eyes, he sort of had like a little bit of a smile when he said it. It was funny. "I want the ship to go now." Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. I've been brushing back up on my Birthright comic book for when CJ and I talk about it. But that's all. What about you, Hannah?
So I bought moons ago a giant box set of the Throne of Glass novels. It's like 10 books.
I don't know what that is. Explain this.
It came out in like 2014. The last book ended in 2019.
1875 years ago when
that was 9 years ago when it started.
For me, that was like last night.
Okay. Well, how long has it been since you found your drink, Pap?
For people who don't know, my grandpa, bless his heart.
My great grandpa.
Yeah. Hannah had to interview him, and he said that he had told her that he really liked this one drink, but he ain't been able to find it lately at Walmart. Now, Hannah.
And I was like, oh, well, they probably changed the label or they've moved it to a new spot and he just doesn't know about it. I'm like, well, how long's it been, Pat? Maybe I can go down there with you. We can look for it. And he's like, oh, I haven't been able to find it in like 4 or 5 years. And I'm like, lately. Okay. When to have
Lately.
such an amount of life that 4 or 5 years.
5 years was lately.
Lately.
Yeah, I miss him.
I miss him too.
Okay.
He's a
So
good
anyway,
guy.
you've been
Yeah, so I read all of them.
Oh gosh.
I read them all. I read the first book, realized I was supposed to read the prequel first, and then spent a month and a half getting through the prequel because I hated every second of it. Finally, I just
was
decided
it a prequel written before the first book was written?
no, the prequel
it's-
was written after
so-
book 3,
So like Chronicles of Narnia.
like Chronicles of Narnia.
For those of you who don't know, The Magician's Nephew is considered book 1, but it was not written first.
It was not written first. The Chronicles of Narnia were written all together, and then Horse and His Boy, Magician's Nephew, and then I think one other
I don't know.
was thrown in there. That's I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah,
Reepicheep.
oh,
I like
he's
Reepicheep.
good.
They all were going to cut their tails off.
Yeah, what a mighty
What an
knight!
amazing
What loyalty.
leader. Yes. Thank you very much.
What
So you've been-
loyalty!
You read
So
those books.
I finally pushed through, and then by book 4, I was like, we get in a place. We get in a place. It took 3 books
Oh gosh.
for it to get good. Book 4.
Wow.
No,
Okay.
book 3. Because I had to read, I read book 1, went back and read book 0.5, then read book 2, and then it started getting good, book 3.
0.5? That's what you called the
That's what it's called. Like I went on Libby to see if they had them, and it was called 0.5 on
gotcha.
Libby. On my Libby is a if y'all don't know
Okay,
Libby,
yeah.
man, get
Is
Libby.
It's why? I
Why
can't
don't you
ever
have
get
Libby?
anything on it because everything I have to put a hold on. There's like
Put a hold on
18
it.
million. Yeah. And 6 years from now, after the 9 million people get done with it, I mean, if I want it if I have to put a hold on it for that long, I'll just buy the daggone thing. It's irritating. I'm sorry. Libby is a app that you can get books from your library. I find Hoopla to work better for me.
I like Libby a lot. Libby's better for books. I think Hoopla is probably better for like comics.
It's definitely better for comics. Although there
But-
are some comics that you can't get on Hoopla that you can get on Libby.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so I read all of those. Took me
All right.
like a week and a half, 2 weeks to get through all of them. They were phenomenal. I have been watching Trevin play Zelda. A lot
I watched
of
another
watching-
friend of mine, Save Point Ministries, is a guy who is trying to help nerds find nerd-friendly churches.
Oh,
And he has a
fun.
Twitch stream, and he was doing Tears of the Kingdom this week. I watched
Yeah,
him.
Tears of the Kingdom.
I know. I was being serious. I was being silly. Yeah.
We watched the second Indiana Jones movie,
Oh, the Temple of Doom.
which
I
is
didn't much care for it.
awful.
So is that the movie where they finally came up with PG-13?
I don't mess with it. I don't know if it's that movie, but
Yeah.
that I don't mess with that kind of stuff. Like it's like
Oh,
blood magic and
Yeah.
like demons and stuff like that. And that is a bit too possibly real life hardcore for me to
But
engage.
angels that melt people's faces off are okay?
I mean, yeah.
I know.
Have some deference.
100%. Yeah. Well, I already told Trevin, wait till 3. 3 is my favorite.
Well, and he was like, "Can we watch?" I'm like, he's like, "Do you want to do this or do you want to watch Indiana Jones?" I'm like, "But we have to watch the second Indiana Jones." He's like, "We got to watch the second one to get to the third one." I said, "Can I read my
Not
book
really.
the entire time?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yep." And I said,
There
"Okay."
you go. Good. Awesome.
So,
All right.
and I have I downloaded a couple audiobooks. I'm gonna try listening to audiobooks on my commute to see if that's something that I
Like what
enjoy.
audiobooks?
A couple audiobooks from Libby. The one that I'm listening to right now, there is an author that I really like. She came out with a book when I was in high school called The Night Circus. Aaron Morgenstern. The Night
I've heard that
Circus.
name.
The Night Circus is such a beautifully written book. It is about two magicians who like to challenge their different schools of thought against each other. And
Oh.
their venue for this challenge and their two pupils is a night circus.
Okay.
And so one believes in like doing outright magic and making people think it's illusions, and another believes in more like book type stuff and like being
Okay.
hidden in the shadows. Anyway, so she has a second book that's come out that I've never read because I was worried it was going to not be as good as The Night Circus, because The Night Circus is just so good. It's a book I can read over and over again and just find something new every time that I read it. But she has a book called The Starless Sea.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds pretty
Book called
cool.
book called
Good
The Starless
title.
Sea. And so I've been listening to it. I'm an hour in so far. I downloaded that before I left work today.
You're becoming me. I do this, but with CDs, right?
Yes, The
I have-
Hobbit.
I have 3.
The Hobbit and Dune. What's the third one?
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Nate got that for
Oh,
me.
That's
for
a big
Christmas
one.
last year. It's huge. Yeah, no, and it's like every.
Do we need to
every
get
other
you like
book.
one of those like CD books from the
That's
early
terrible.
2000s?
Yeah, thank you. Don't do that. No, let's not do that.
But yeah, so I've been listening to The Starless Sea. And if you want to listen to an audiobook, I would recommend this one. Something that I'm really enjoying about it is in her writing, it like jumps from like setting to setting, person to person. And there's like weird inner stories in between other stories. And like there's a main story that's happening and then like other things are interspersed in between it. It's very interesting to read.
I should do that.
And
Just download books and listen to them.
It's very visual, her
mhm.
books. But what they've done is they have 5 different people that are reading the book. And so it bops between the different people
Do they
depending
have
on, they have
Oh,
different voices because they're
Okay.
different people. So they all sound different. So you know what part of the book that you're at based on
I'm
who's
still going
reading.
to say The Hobbit narrator is the best book I've ever listened to.
I have such visceral memories of just sitting in
One
car
guy
line.
does every single voice, and
Gloin,
they're
gloin.
all different. It's amazing. I could listen to him over and over again.
You have.
I have. You're right. I have honestly.
Since I was in elementary school, you have listened to him.
Hilarious.
To the
That's so.
Hobbit.
I love it. I love it. Well, you got anything else?
We watched Over the Hedge.
I know you told me that. That's hilarious. That is so bad. That's so funny.
And there was something, Trevin had never seen it. And there was something else. No, he played Zelda that day. Never
All
mind.
right.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, hey, we are really just talking
We're
a
just
lot.
kind of chitter chattering today.
Well, let's go over my comics.
Okay. And then see where we're at and maybe
And
be
see where
done
we're
or
at,
keep going.
because I got a neat little story with the comics too.
Fun.
So yeah. So pull list is when you have your local comic book shop. You give them a list of comics that you like, and they will pull them or order them special for you and keep them for you so you can pick them up and make sure they're there. And if you have really good people who know you, sometimes they'll throw something in there that they think you like. And one of my books on this week is one of those that Beth threw in there for me from Heroes Realm. And if you think of a book, you can text them, or depending upon how with mine, I just contact them through Facebook Messenger and say, hey, do you got this book? And they're like, yeah, or no, but I'll see what I can do. So yeah, but this is my pull list. And every week I try to do one comic from DC, one comic from Marvel, a new number one,
New number one.
one book from an independent, and my book of the week. So they're not always my favorite books, but I try to give I don't want to keep talking about the same book over and over again.
Dude, you can talk about the same book over and over again. I'll sit here and listen to you. It's fun to talk. It's fun to hear people talk about things that they find enjoyable.
Exactly. One of our friends who just hopped on the chat, Chris, talked about how there used to be a pharmacy downtown called Calico and Wit. I worked with George Calico when I first moved here.
Oh, Dad, that's really
And
sweet.
they used to keep G.I. Joes back for my friend Chris. So if you have a good rapport with the people, and they'll take care of you. So my first book is a DC book. It is Batman issue 136. And the cover is amazing.
Can I
It's
see it?
Catwoman. It's Catwoman looking over top. I don't know if you can really tell, looking over top Batman. And Batman is looking at his hand because Batman has been gone in the multiverse. And during that trip, he lost his hand.
Oh no!
He
And now
now
he's
ha-
back and has his hand, or he has a fake
No,
hand.
He has a fake hand.
Robot
he's
hand.
he's all messed up. You come to find out that Batman has created a alternate personality within himself. Bruce Wayne has, called Batman. I can't pronounce it. Unum Sur. And basically there are two different personalities warring against one another. And
Very Moon Knight.
this is very much so for them, very much like that. But anyway, something's gonna happen here in Gotham coming up, the Gotham War, and I believe Catwoman's gonna end up being the queen pin of crime in Gotham. But they've still got a relationship, so it's weird. But it's been this issue is really good, and it's a good starting point for people who want to hop on with Batman.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So,
Yeah, because sometimes it's hard, especially when they've been like running for so long,
yeah.
to like jump into a story.
in.
So good to know that
Yep.
if you like Batman and want a beginning of a story, the Batman 136.
Actually, 4 of my 5 are good jumping on points.
Hey, that's awesome. That's
And
exciting.
so my Marvel book is Daredevil issue 12. This book is coming to an end, and it's going to get a new creative group coming up. So, and what happens at the end of this book is that Daredevil allows himself to die by the hands of Elektra so that he can go to the underworld and fight the devil
Yep.
for the souls of his friends.
I was going to say he's works in Hell's Kitchen. It's called Daredevil. I'm not surprised that he does that.
And as he's walking down into the underworld, his red uniform turns white. So, yeah, Daredevil. Excuse me. My independent book.
Yeah, he's Catholic, isn't he?
Yeah, very strong believer.
Yeah, he's the character Matt Murdock is.
Funny thing is, both of those, the last 2 issues, were written by the same guy, Chip Zdarsky.
Do you like him?
I do like him. His writing's usually pretty good. So my independent is by Vault Comics.
Oh, you haven't had a vault in a hot second.
And this was picked up, put in my pools by my local comic book shop because they know that I love the books from Barbaric, which are definitely adult. So don't get these for kids. And this is Queen of the Swamps, issue 1. So another good jumping on spot. And it deals with 3 women that are been in the Barbaric comic book series. One of them is like a barbarian with a possessed sword that talks to her. And
Spooky.
it's funny.
I don't mess.
No, it's silly.
with
It's not
possessed swords.
it's not spooky. It's silly,
Okay.
honestly.
There's
and like a witch and then like a vampire hunter or something.
Yeah.
It's really good. It follows them and their little journey. It's going to be about a 4-issue series.
Okay,
but
fun.
yeah. What were we going to say? There's a what?
So I've talked a lot about Vox Machina and Critical Role, that
Yes.
campaign that I watched that's now a cartoon. One of the main characters who has very low intelligence, that's just how his character is played. He's a barbarian that his intelligence stat is like a 5. Gets again, I don't mess around with demons and blood magic. And it's
voodoo.
it's a voodoo-y sword named Craven Edge that like craves the like death of enemies or like deaths of those
that's
around
the
him.
barbarian in Barbaric he is cursed, but he's not really cursed. He has to, if anyone has a righteous problem, he has to help them. And his axe drinks the blood of its enemies.
Yeah, that's what Craven's Edge does. And then it increases the strength of the wielder.
Gotcha.
So the
I don't know if it
wielder
does that for this.
becomes obsessed with getting the sword what it wants.
This axe
Because then you
just
have
acts
power.
like it's had too much to drink, if you know what I mean. Hiccuping and everything.
No.
Yeah.
So, okay, if it's a righteous quest, so if it was like a mom who was like, my kid has to have, like, is being bullied at school and we have to have a good costume for the Halloween play.
Well, I
And-
don't know. They don't
Like, you
make
know what I mean?
costumes for, I know. I don't know.
That would be such a fun episode, like
that
just a
would be
random
funny.
one-off
Yeah.
of righteous quest, and he like turns into like the axe turns into like a needle or something. And it's
Well,
like
no,
a
the axe
plastic
doesn't
sewing
turn into
machine.
that. He would have to make it. The
Oh,
axe doesn't
okay.
change at all. It stays an
Never mind.
axe. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right. So my new number one is a Marvel title. They've relaunched Black Panther.
Okay.
Black Panther is no longer the king of Wakanda. He has been dethroned because he did some rowdy stuff that nobody liked in the end of his last run.
Don't
But-
be rowdy.
Black Panther is literally the protector now of Wakanda. So this book happens in Wakanda, and you're seeing like life in Wakanda,
Oh,
which
cool.
you've never really seen before. Yes and no, because now I'm like, I always pictured Wakanda as being this like crystal clean, no crime type of city and everything. But now we're looking like, well, maybe it's not that perfect
Mm.
and utopian and everything. But the art is an art style that I really enjoy.
What do you
I
like
don't
about
know
it?
It's just, I don't know.
Is it
it's-
called Black Panther, Protector of Wakanda? What is it
No,
called?
just Black Panther, number one.
Okay.
Yeah. Wakanda may no longer have a king, but it still has a hero. The most exciting chapter of T'Challa's life begins here.
Most
All right.
exciting. Silly.
All right. So I have two books of the week.
Okay. Book of the week is the book of the week. We got two of them, two books of the week.
So this one was the book of the week I had until yesterday. So
Yesterday
in
was the
this-
new comic book day.
No, but I was given a comic book, sorta, yesterday. We'll get to that.
Okay.
So
okay.
this one is by Image. It's called Click Click Boom, issue 1 by Doug Wagner, the same guy that did Vinyl.
We like him.
This follows a girl who, as far as I can tell, is mute, maybe deaf, but she takes Polaroids, like multiple
Oh,
Polaroids,
fun.
and then like is
Creepy.
killing people and shooting people but the issue is that they've done something. She's going after a corrupt business, I believe.
Okay. Who like hurt
Alright.
her, or like made her mute or something,
Or
like stole her
hurt-
tongue.
I think hurt someone that trained her because she has multiple pictures of this one guy of this. But anyway, that's how she communicates through these Polaroids, and she leaves. these and
Gotcha. So
takes all
kind
these
of like a
Polaroids.
person.
So it's like click,
with who-
click, boom. Get it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes people that are nonverbal, like individuals who have like autism or other sort of developmental difficulties, can use visual aids to communicate.
Yeah, and that's what she's doing. And she runs across a like a podcaster who's creating their own podcast about this corrupt business, and she wants to get to the bottom of it, but she's just like a pharmacist or a psychologist who's just doing something for fun. It gets now this woman is now mixed up in this. So if it's anything like his other books that I've read, I'm in it for the ride. So
Yeah.
the art is great. The storytelling, a lot. There's
It's like
very
Poppy.
Yes, but this is a different artist.
Okay.
But it's still good. I mean, it's very good. The art is fantastic. So it's got two women protagonists in it. They're the stars of the book. So female centric. It is adult. I'm sure it will be because all of his books are adult.
Mm.
But yeah. So my next book of the week was thanks to my next door neighbor, Laura Grayson, who just got back from Japan. So I asked Laura, I knew she was going to Japan. I said, listen, Laura, all I want you to do is get me some manga. She goes, what? I said, anything. She goes, do you don't care at all what you get? I said, no. I go, I really don't want Naruto, and I really don't want an American like Avatar or whatever. Just, like I don't know. Here, My Hero Academia is okay. One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man would be cool. Anything crazy like that. She goes, okay, well, good. I will get you something. So they basically said, what do you need to get? And we'll make sure you go to a store that has this. And she goes, I just need to get some manga. And they're like, well, what kind? And she goes, I don't know, just manga. She goes, well, we can stop her. She goes, I just need to get one piece of manga. They go, okay, we'll get it.
One piece of manga.
They take her to a store that has every single volume of One Piece. One Piece manga covering the walls. And she's like, oh, I get it. One Piece. Lost in translation.
One piece. I just need one piece of manga. One piece. Okay.
And then
That's what they're going to show.
Yeah. So she got me. She goes, well, just get me volume 1. So I
got volume 1 of One Piece.
One Piece volume 1 from Japan. And
that's so cool.
And that
Dad, that's maybe the coolest thing in the entire world.
That's such a great story.
That's so awesome.
Wait till you hear this story. He goes, I just told him I needed one piece of manga. I go, oh no, I knew exactly where that was going. And sure enough, she goes, I said, do you know how many manga? She goes, yes. I had every one of them on the shelf. So
that's so fun. Laura's cool.
Yeah, Laura's cool. It was
I got the coughs now because I laughed. I was so excited about that.
Yeah, the One Piece. So those of you who don't know, Netflix is trying to make this 1,000 plus episode manga into a Netflix live action TV show, which will probably last a season because that's just what happens. But so I tried to see if I could get this in English and just read it and
you should frame that.
I don't want to frame it. I'm going to keep it. I mean, it's the whole book.
You should put it in
It's a thick critter.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Poor Hannah's all choked up. Yeah, she's going to have the coughs now for a while.
In a thing that you like, it goes on the wall and you open it.
Oh,
Shadowbox.
Shadowbox. There you go. Yeah. Hannah got all choked up from laughing and drinking at the same time. This happened to me last night. So we all have been there. Yeah. So One Piece is a manga. It is about Luffy, who wanted to be a pirate. I believe he's afraid of water. He takes a fruit and now he's super stretchy. So yeah, that's it. That's my books of the week.
Thanks for sharing that, Dad. That is so fun.
So Hannah, let's just briefly, we won't talk about the comic.
Okay, yeah.
But Hannah and I wanted to talk about this American film classic that people have loved for decades and decades and decades, or maybe 20 years. Zoolander. Hannah just watched Zoolander and thought, hey, let's talk about Zoolander. So Hannah, you want to give people who don't know what Zoolander is the rundown on what Zoolander is?
But I will. Because how do you explain that? Zoolander it's
a documentary about the modeling industry.
Is such an early 2000s movie. And it's like an early 2000s comedy. Gold.
That's when Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson were doing everything together.
They were doing everything together. And it was so funny because we had just watched Night at the Museum the night before.
They were both in it.
And they were both in it. They were doing everything together. And so it's Ben Stiller as Derek Zoolander, who is like the it male model. And there's a new guy on the scene, Hansel,
he's so hot right now.
He's so hot right now. And he takes the like male modeling industry by storm and becomes top dog. And so Derek's like, that's it, I quit. But in the meantime, this undercover crime organization that is part of the fashion industry is needing a prime minister murdered. And so
because they won't let little kids
child labor.
Gosh, it's so bad. And Will Ferrell is in on this. He's the bad guy. Mugatu, yeah.
Yeah. So Derek Zoolander unwittingly becomes a part of this plot to kill the Malaysian prime minister, and shenanigans unfold. There's a love interest who's also a journalist and who paints him in a poor light as well. Perhaps not undeserving.
I thought they were married at one time.
I don't know the answer.
Her name was Matilda. Yeah. This is
Matilda.
PG-13. However, there are some parts in it that are really adulty. Like they're too much for young kids. Honestly.
We watched this together when I was in high school. When I watched it for the first time, and Dad is very good at, okay, close your eyes, or hey, we're skipping this scene. And like the first time that I watched Monty Python, you muted it during during Anthrax, Castle Anthrax,
because that's pretty naughty.
Yeah. So there's like, it's like that type of vibe, and a couple different parts, but. Yeah.
So I don't know if you knew this or not, but Ben Stiller first created this character for a VH1 Fashion Week show thing.
Really? So kind of Ted Lasso.
Yeah, exactly. Very Ted Lasso-ish.
That is funny.
This movie.
He's so dumb.
David Bowie shows up in it. Billy Zane is in it. Who is it there during the, when they have the like walk off?
This is David
Bowie? Yeah.
David Bowie is the judge of the walk off.
Judge of the walk off. So what happens is the movie starts out, Derek Zoolander thinks that he's winning this award and he runs up to accept it.
He doesn't. He loses.
And it's not. He loses
Hansel.
to Hansel, which is Owen Wilson. And Matilda is trying to write an article about basically how dumb he is. And
he's not smart.
He's not smart.
David Duchovny is in it. He can't turn right.
Yes, he can't turn right.
And he does one look.
He just has one look and he's working on a new one.
Magnum.
Magnum, because right now all he has is blue steel.
All he does is blue steel.
Yeah. And this had a different ending.
Really?
Oh, it was bad. Like he gets killed or hit by a train or something like that. Yeah, it's really weird.
That was the original ending? Did it come out like that?
No. It's just like an alternate ending or whatever. But so what happens is Derek Zoolander is being basically primed to be the unwitting agent to kill the Malaysian prime minister. But instead he saves him with the look.
With the look of Magnum.
Magnum stops the throwing stars.
And let me tell you, there are some quips in this.
There's such good lines. I think, and here's so funny because Hannah talked about, hey, let's talk about this. And I automatically went and watched the trailer for the Wham documentary, which is coming out. A jitterbug.
Dun, 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 dun. An orange mocha kappa frappuccino.
Yeah, they have a gasoline fight and all this. They have a gasoline fight. They're playing this song. They're playing the Wham
Jitterbug song.
Spraying gasoline over each other.
And then a guy lights a cigarette.
And then he has to Googleize.
Are you just here because I'm not a very good Googleizer?
Did you realize that the dude with this thing in a hand, the hand in the glass, that's David Duchovny.
I don't know who that is.
Oh gosh, from you would know Return to Me.
Yes.
He is the love and he's the guy in Return to Me. He is the star of X-Files.
Beautiful movie.
He had some other shows that we can't mention here on this little podcast, but
there's the scene with the hand where he's talking about the hand model and he's like, why male models? He's like, I just said that. That's because Ben Stiller forgot his line.
Oh, really?
Yes. Ben Stiller forgot his line.
The fun thing is his dad's in that movie.
Is
Jerry Stiller, the guy who's like, I'm taking a leak here, or whatever, that guy. His agent.
Funny.
That's his father in real life.
That's funny. I wondered if it was Ballstein.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, that's his dad.
Funny. I got the black lung pop.
Oh, yeah. John Voight and what's the guy? Vince
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn Yeah. I get this is right before they also came out with Dodgeball because they were Vince Vaughn.
Man.
With John Voight as his dad. They all had the same terrible
They had
haircut.
the hair that just stuck straight up, and he like comes in as in a merman.
So he has the come to Jesus moment where he leaves male modeling and he's going to do the family business of coming back to West Virginia or Kentucky or wherever
And goes to
working
the
in
coal
the coal
mines.
mines. And he is in there with this itty bitty hammer. And then they're back at this bar and his dad and his brother are having a drink. And he's in the bathroom with like 3 bags full of cotton balls and some makeup remover.
Getting the
trying to
soot
get
off of
all
him.
the soot off his face a little bit at a time. Merman.
Got the black lung pump.
Got the black lung pump.
What is this? A center for ants?
Ants? Yes.
It's got to be at least 3 times bigger.
So here's the problem with Zoolander. The movie's terrible.
What?
Okay? The movie's terrible.
It's,
However, it is a movie where people who have watched it can just sit and just do a little thing and then bust out laughing. And no one has any clue. And that's what this entire end of the podcast is going to be. If you've not watched Zoolander, sorry about your luck. Go watch it. The second one's not that bad.
I had
either.
never
But-
noticed before at the
What?
end of the movie when they're at Derek Zoolander's Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to do good in other subjects too, that Hansel comes up and is like, "We're going to go base jump off of a bridge. Come
Yeah.
on, kids.
And all the kids
go to
go
the
with him.
helicopter pad." And then
Yeah.
that
You
got
didn't
me
realize
last
that?
time. I'm like, where are their consenting adults?
Yeah, they filled out the paperwork. I guarantee it. Yeah. So, and
Oh
And
man.
then Will Ferrell's character is funny in it as well. He's definitely It's Will Ferrell,
Creator
all
of
day
the
the derelict, the derelict,
derelict.
Don't say it. You can't say it. You know what I'm thinking.
Yes.
You can't say it because we're family friendly, but we can think it and think that's hilarious.
It's so dumb.
They're just basically wearing trash bags.
Well, and here's the thing. That's a new thing. Like people do that.
Yes.
No,
I
but
know,
that's
it's
like
terrible.
Like people like there's a pair of Balenciaga sneakers that are purposely run down and look grody that are like $1,000, $5,000.
I had a girl pay me $20 to destroy her blue jeans in college. This was before you could buy jeans with holes in them.
Buy jeans with holes in them.
Yep. I
Man.
got $20. I did it.
Hey, I'm not
Yeah,
mad
it's
at
good.
$20.
No, back then. That
But,
means I
ugh.
didn't have to go sell plasma that weekend.
Hey,
I know. I could have money and keep my plasma.
we love keeping our plasma
So
in our
here's
body.
the deal. I give that movie 10 Zoolanders only because it's what it is. If I
Yeah.
were saying, if I were like voting for the Oscars, it would not even get maybe 1 star, maybe 2.
But it's not
out of
trying to be
10.
anything other than a really dumb, funny movie.
Exactly. And they succeed extremely well.
And they're not
But it
taking
does
themselves
have
too
some
seriously.
It does have some naughty parts in it.
Mhm.
But you know, it's
Just have a
PG-13.
really good dad who's excellent at fast forwarding through and pausing at the right time.
and muting it at the right time.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. There you go. That's so funny.
Yes,
Well,
because
Hannah-
what is this? A trailer for Ants.
Yes.
Ant-Man.
Yes, that was funny too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay. Closing.
Yes, we were going to talk about Kaiju Score, but we will talk about it next week. It's a good book. I don't know where you can read it unless you go purchase it. However, I will let you know that Sony has the rights to turn it into a movie.
It would be a sick movie.
They call it a Tarantino type heist movie set in the middle of a Godzilla film.
Hey, yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
It's
Hannah.
a pretty, yeah. Well, hey, friends, thanks for coming and hanging out with us in our little corner of the interwebs. We're glad for you to have been here with us today. And thanks to Brockwell Nason. You can check out his Instagram and his social media. He made our intro music and he is a musician. You should check him out. And if you live in Nashville, follow him on Instagram. He does a lot of concerts locally.
It does.
Nate made our art. Thanks for doing that for
Nathan
us,
Turner.
bud. It is beautiful. Chef's kiss. He made it in Microsoft Paint. Dad's in charge of our YouTube. I'm in charge of uploading our podcast, and we're glad for you to be here.
And if you share our podcast on your socials and tell all your peeps to watch us, listen, or whatever. You DM us or call us. Most people that listen to us know who we are. I'll send you a free Sis and Big Pops pin. Not an ink pen, but a pen that go on your jacket. All right.
Yes.
So, guys, thank you so much for hanging with us. We just do this because we have fun talking about things that we like. Sorry if you get bored. Just go to the next episode. Until then, we will catch you on the flippity flop. Bye, guys.
Friends.